Hey everybody, I'm Brams, and this is a tutorial on how to do Groovy Boss Kill, which is an advanced strat that's mostly used in just 96 exit, but it appears in other categories as well. So it's important that you enter this stage with a Yoshi, first of all, but a Fire Flower in reserve. You absolutely have to have a fire in reserve or else you can't do the trick. And I'll explain why momentarily. But when you enter the stage, you just want to eat this guy and spit him off screen. And then, right about when you get here, so imagine this point on the screen, you want to drop the Fire Flower and stick out Yoshi's tongue at the same time. So hitting select and either X or Y. And if you time it right, you'll grab this green Koopa. So then you want to get back underneath the Fire Flower. And when you've done that, you want to hold down right and then tap X and A at the same time. And if you do that right, the green shell will go flying before you've collected the Fire Flower. So you want to do a very short jump. If you hold A too long, you'll jump into the Fire Flower, and you don't want to do that. You want to land on Yoshi, have the green shell in the air, and not have collected the Fire Flower. So after you do that, you want to jump into the Fire Flower, and you also want to stick out Yoshi's tongue at the same time. So if I recall correctly, you have to hit B and Y on the same exact frame, which is a lot easier than it sounds. You pretty much just smash your thumb down onto the controller, and 99% of the time you'll hit both at the same time. Like this. And if you do it right, you'll get the double tongue glitch, which looks like that. You notice that a tongue came out of Yoshi's closed mouth. So if you don't get the double tongue glitch, excuse me, you won't see a tongue come out of his mouth, so I intentionally screwed it up there, and I'll do it again, like that. You just don't see a tongue. But after you do get double tongue glitch, you want to grab the green shell with the first tongue, which isn't that hard. Most of the time it's in your way, and you'll just end up grabbing it. And then you want to grab the blue shell with your second tongue, and there's kind of a little trick you have to do in order to not grab the red shell. When you're on the ground, you want to hold up just for a little bit so that Yoshi's tongue goes over the red shell and onto the blue one. Because when you hold up and stick out Yoshi's tongue, it stays at like the second tile above the ground, whereas if you don't hold up, it will go on the tile above the ground. And you can also change where his tongue is, like mid-lick, I guess you could say. So you want to make your tongue go over the red guy and onto the blue guy. And after you've done that, you want to run into the red guy and do what's called an eat cancel. And an eat cancel is just getting hit while something is on Yoshi's tongue. So double tongue, to recap, double tongue, first tongue goes on the green, second tongue goes on the blue, and then eat cancel with the red guy. And now I'm screwing up double tongue. So after you've done that, you want to stomp on the blue guy. Sometimes you'll stomp on the yellow guy, and that's not a big deal. In fact, it makes it a little bit easier if you stomp on the yellow guy. But it's not important. If you don't hit him, it's no big deal. But you do want to hit the blue guy. That's important. And after you've done that, you want to run back over to the left. Ooh, if this happens, by the way, you can just run over here until the wings disappear, and then just jump back over to the right. And I'll explain how to do this ending bit. But that's kind of the backup strat. Like, if you get hit by the blue guy or something, you can just run to the right, about to that bush, and you'll see that Yoshi's wings disappear. Alright, so now I have to do the backup strat again. But at this point, you want to stomp on this guy, and while that white poof cloud is on screen, you want to spit out the boss while you have no momentum. So a good way to kill all your speed is by holding right and then hitting down when you're on the ground as well. And if you do it right, there will be a dude here that you just shoot 12 fireballs at, and that ends the stage. And this guy right here is actually a Koopa Kid boss. And weirdly enough, if you do the 2 fireballs and a stomp to the head like in the castles, it's actually a lot slower than just doing 12 fireballs for whatever reason. So you just want to fire 6 sets of 2 fireballs and then get back on Yoshi. I accidentally dropped my cape making the save state, so I'll do this over again so you can see what it's supposed to look like properly. Stomp the blue guy. Run over here. Ooh. So if that happens, you still have speed. And you done goofed. So if you hit that guy, it's no big deal. You can just run into the things. So that was kind of awkward at the end, but it still worked. So it's important that you grab the cape at the end of this. You don't necessarily have to get back on Yoshi, but it makes Mondo, the next stage, a lot easier. So if you drop your cape too late, it will just disappear during the fade out, and you're kind of screwed for the next stage. So you want to drop your cape just about when you start shooting the fireballs. That's a pretty good time to do that. So here's the backup strat again. Wings are gone, turn around. They come back, but then they disappear again. And at least grab the cape. You don't have to get on Yoshi, but having Yoshi for the next stage is a little bit easier than not having Yoshi. So hopefully I explained this well enough. There's kind of a lot that you have to do, so it's a little hard to explain as you're doing it here. But if you've got any questions, feel free to shoot me a message on Discord or Twitter or something. I have all that crap linked in the description. And I'll do my best to help you. Alternatively, you can join the SMW Discord, and there are a lot more knowledgeable people in there than I that can also help. So I'll do this one last time here so you can see. This isn't the fastest strat, but it gets a 276, which is pretty good. There are other ways to do this that are a little bit faster, but I'm not going to explain those just because they're a little bit more tricky than this. So optimally, I believe that trick saves about 7 to 10 seconds. So it's a pretty big time save, but nothing too huge. So if you're kind of just starting out or kind of an intermediate, you don't really need to do GBK. It's more of an advanced strat, like I said at the beginning. But yeah, if you've got any questions, let me know. I'll do my best to help, and I hope you learned something.